we have to study the environmental impact assessment of a irrigation. See, after application of this irrigation scheme, what exactly happens or what are the affection and what are the impact on the environment that we have to study. The environmental impact of irrigation related to the changes in quality and quantity of soil and water, and these effect on natural and their effect on natural and social conditions in river basins as well as on the downstream of a irrigation scheme. So exactly it affects it affects on the quality and quantity of a soil and water. See, uh, during the irrigation supply, if we are continuously supplying this water to the crop or to the land, then this continuous supply may erode the soil and it may contaminate the water also. So we have to check the quality and quantity of soil as well as water. So their effect on a natural or social condition in river basin on, on the downstream side of a irrigation scheme that had also been studied. So we have two effects, that is direct effect and indirect effect. Direct effects means what that can be visualized on the same time or at the time of irrigation or at the time of irrigation supply, the effects that can be visualized, this term as a direct effect. And indirect effect means what? That can be taken a longer time. Indirect. That cannot be affect the area or affect the environment at the same time, but it takes a longer time and it lasts for the longer period. These are termed as the indirect effect. So what are the process or what are the conditions that has been considered under the direct effect? Let's discuss. See, the irrigation scheme generally drawn the water from the rivers, lakes, then underground area, etc., and then deliver this water to the area where it is needed. So what happened? What happened? The hydrological or a direct effect are or of doing is include the reduction in the downstream river flow, increase the evaporation in irrigated area, increased level in water table as groundwater recharges in the area is increased and the flow increased in the irrigated area. So what happens generally when the water is drawn from the certain natural resources? So during the extraction, the level of the water becomes reduced or is reduced in the river area or in the river basin at the downstream side. So the flow of water is being reduced in the river. This is the first direct effect on the environment. Secondly, when the irrigation water is supplied over the area or over the surface area, then it may lead to the evaporation. So evaporation rate may be increased. Thirdly, when in such areas and the groundwater table is already high, the level of a groundwater table is close to the ground surface. And if the irrigation scheme is applied or supplied, then the level of the water in the groundwater table is increased and the waterlogging problems may occur in a future or in a certain after certain period. Then third is the flow increased in the irrigated area. Because of this, the level of the water is increased in the area The continuous supply of water, waterlogging problem may occur. Because of this waterlogging, breeding of mosquitoes will take place. Various diseases may spread. These are the indirect effects. But during the supply of irrigation, we can just visualize that we are extracting the water, we are supplying this water over the surface, and the direct effects are there is a reduction in the level of water, there is a increase in the evaporation rate. There is an increase in the groundwater table because of the percolation of water will occurs under the ground surface area. So these are the direct effects. So what happens because of the circulation of moisture in the the atmosphere becomes a more damper and more colder. See, irrigation has the immediate effect on the provision of a moisture to the atmosphere, or it modifies the atmospheric circulation that's delivering rain in downwind area. So this is the positive also, and this includes in the negative also. So continuous supply, it may lead to the more damper and more colder area, and certain time the because of the moisture or modification of a atmospheric circulation, because it is the process when the molecules get evaporated, it becomes lighter, it flows at the certain level, then condensation will occur, and then the condensation, after the condensation, the precipitation will occur. This is the cycle. This is known as the hydrological cycle. So it is very much important for the atmosphere also. So when the moisture will take place and the moisture content is increase in the atmosphere, so sometimes it may be beneficial to the atmosphere, it may be beneficial to the environment also. Then the increase or decrease in the irrigation help to examine significant modification to delivery of evaporation. So these are the direct effects. So during the irrigation skip, the effects that can be visualized is known as a or are termed as a direct effect. So indirect effects are those that have consequences that they take longer to develop and may also be longer lasting. Okay, that we are already discussed in previous points. Then it includes waterlogging. We had already discussed that when the level of the water is increased on the irrigated area, then the groundwater table is already high, and because of this, waterlogging a problem may occur. Then soil salination, because of the continuous and constant supply on the soil, the fertility and the soluble chemicals and the soluble components which are present in the soil that may be discharged off along with the water, and the soil salination problem will occur. Then ecological damage, then socio-economic impact. So these are the indirect effects. See, the social and economic or ecological impact take longer to happen, but can be more reaching. Some irrigation schemes use water well for the irrigation. As a result, the overall water level decreases, and it may cause water mining, land soil subsidence, and along the coast salt water intrusion. See, the intrusion is what? When you are going to extract the water along the coastal side of a sea. So this certain area consists of a salt water and certain groundwater consists of a fresh water. When we are extracting the water and slowly the fresh groundwater table level may decrease, it may get mixed with the salt water, and this level and this point is known as a salt water intrusion. The mixing of a salt water and fresh water is termed as a salt water intrusion. So this may cause these are the indirect effects of a irrigation on the environment. Of irrigation.